Okay. So again, welcome. Good morning. This is chapter 3 of our uh, strategic cost management book. This is about contemporary business environment and strategic focus of cost management. So ito yung content ng ating discussion for this morning. Of course, yung expected learning outcomes from you. And then yung content ng chapter 3, contemporary business environment, the global business environment, advances in manufacturing technologies, advances in information technology, the internet and e-commerce, the greater focus on customers, new forms of management organization, changes in social, political, cultural environment of business, and how do business adapt on this, strategic focus of cost management versus accounting system, kailan ito kailangang magbago, and then we will be introduced to an integrative framework for us to understand why do changes occur sa accounting system natin or sa cost management system natin. Okay, so ito yung expected learning outcomes from you. At the end, you should be able to describe what is global business environment, what are the advances in manufacturing techniques, in information, and yung greater focus on customers by business, new forms of organization, changes in social, political, and cultural environment. And then explain the strategic focus of cost management, relationship between cost management and accounting system, and then yung integrative framework natin. Okay, so to start, mga young pa kayo, maybe what you know about business today is very different from what we know about business before. Kasi ngayon, ang alam nyo, kasi mga young generation na kayo eh. Mga young generation kayo. What you know is that it's normal for a business to use, say, credit card or mga online payment, but before it's not like that. Kaya marami ng changes sa businesses ngayon, even in the way we handle transaction, marami ng changes. So, in this topic, we will be trying to dissect ano-ano yung mga naging changes na yon, and what makes it become contemporary. Kasi before, yung contemporary business environment it's totally different from today. So ngayon, yung changes na yon, it becomes a contemporary business environment. So una, there's an increase in global competition. Maybe for me to better explain this to you, I'll be sharing a different slide. This is actually a report by one of my students in the doctoral program. So I wanted to give credit to Ma'am Olive. Okay, so maybe itong part ng slides na tong ang mag-explain sa atin what is globalization or what is a global competition. So nawala lang yung letter W, but This one is, what is globalization? And the answer is, an English princess with an Egyptian boyfriend crashes in a French tunnel driving a German car with a Dutch engine, driven by a Belgian who was drunk on Scottish whiskey, followed closely by Italian paparazzi on Japanese motorcycles treated by an American doctor using Brazilian medicine. And this is sent to you by an American using Bill Gates technology, which he enjoyed stealing from the Japanese. And you are probably reading this on one of the IBM clones that use Taiwanese made chips and Korean made monitors assembled by Bangladesh workers in a Singapore plant, transported by lorries driven by Indians, hijacked by Indonesians, unloaded by Sicilian longshoremen, tracked by Mexican illegal aliens, and finally sold to you. So uh, I think there is very limited product na we can say that it's 100% locally made. Very limited product, 100% locally made. Tama ba? What are you using right now? Are you using desktop or a laptop?
Desktop po.
Laptop, sir.
Laptop,
Laptop.
sir.
Yes, actually, yung laptop natin, we actually do not know whether this is 100% locally made or uh, foreign made in one country only, diba? We have bought it here in the Philippines, pero we actually don't know if all of these parts, all of the parts of the laptop are locally made, or if it is been transported to different countries, or if the plant is actually uh, in one country and all of the parts are made there. So, hindi natin alam. So, even the software that we are using right now, uh, this is not 100% made in one country. And that is how globalization is working right now. Uh, we cannot uh, limit ourselves to where we are. Kasi kung dito lang tayo, I mean, if the business will think of uh, a product that will be sold dito lang sa Pilipinas and it cannot be sold abroad, uh, mabilis siyang mawawala. Because the trend today is, ganyan, globalized competition. If you will not see your uh, foreign friends or foreign counterparts as a competitor, mabilis kang mawawala sa industry. So dapat ang thinking natin ngayon when we set up a business, hindi lang local, pati international. Even in the service sector, like what I have mentioned in our previous lessons, even professionals are now allowed to work abroad. Mga CPAs. So if you set up a business and you will be needing a professional services from a CPA, pwede kang kumuha ng foreigner. Kaya the competition now is not local only. Pati yung nasa abroad. We will look at the world. Ngayon, ang tingin natin sa mundo is maliit na lang. Hindi na siya ganun kahirap lakbayin. Through the use of internet, ang bilis-bilis mong i-market yung product mo abroad. Diba? Post mo lang. Actually, even in social media, napakabilis. Whatever you post can be seen worldwide. Kaya ganyan na ngayon ang actually hindi na siya change. This is now the contemporary. This is the normal way of doing business. And that is global competition. Normal na ngayon yung pagiging global. Kaya nga, kuminsan, meron tayong mga classmates or students na foreigner because it's easy for other people, I mean foreign people to go to different places and study there and make their own life there. So, ganun na siya ka-open ngayon. Okay. Before I leave this slide, maybe I'll add some good dito, discussion. Sandali. Hanapin ko lang. Okay, this one is a digital in 2020, the new decade, new milestone. This is, this information gives us parang a glimpse of how many of the population is being online now. Kaya, hirap isa-isahin, pero this one is a good article. Dali, lakihan ko lang. Mabasa. Okay. Maybe ang isang magandang example dito is yung sa male and female. Meron dito by gender. Sige, yun na. Pili na lang tayo ng mga naka-highlight na dilaw. Like for example, nearly 60% of the world's population is already online. And the latest trend suggested that more than half of the world's total population will use social media by the middle of this year. Okay? This is 2020. So imagine if half of the world's population is already online. And kaya nga meron na tayong term na netizens because mas marami pang population online kaysa dun sa actual na country. The biggest population is already online, netizens. So imagine if half of the world's population is online, hindi ba napakalaking market niyan for a business? And wala kang boundary. Walang language barrier. Kasi basta naka-online and if they saw your product and yun yung needs nila, there's a tendency that they will buy it. Kaya napakalaking market ng online ngayon. Let me check again. Ito, internet users in the Philippines. There are 73 million internet users in the Philippines in January 2020. The penetration is 67% in January, meaning comparing last year to this year, there is an increase of online users or internet users of 67%. Imagine gaano yan kabilis, gaano kalaking dadagdag na online citizen or netizens every year. 67%. Even social media, napakabilis, napakadami nating tao sa social media. The number of social media users in the Philippines increased by 5.8 million. That's positive 8.6% between April to January 2020. Okay, so I think that's how we look at global competition right now. Since everything is online, yeah, so nagagalit yung aso ko. Okay, let me go back to my original slide. Hold on ha. I-kulong ko lang yung aso. Okay. Any slides? Okay. Narinig niyo ba ako?
Yes po.
Okay.
Opo.
Okay, very good. Another contemporary business environment is advances in manufacturing technologies. Again, it's normal for you to see technology in manufacturing like robotics, yung mga machineries. But before, wala po talagang ganyan. The normal in manufacturing before is maraming tao, maraming laborers, more on manpower than machines. Ngayon kasi talagang ang laki ng change in the way we produce products. Even the products itself, marami ding nagbago. Just to share, you know, dati kaming, when I was a kid, we used to produce baskets na made of rattan, and we have more than 100 laborers. We have a factory na malaki, isang malaking factory, and normally we ship this basket to LA sa US. So, ang natandaan ko lang noon, sa pagpupunta kami ng factory namin, maraming tao, yung mga tawag dito, yung mga raw materials, nakakalad dyan. I mean, nakikita mo talagang ang mga tao nagtatrabaho. Kapag kailangan magputol ng raw materials, meron namang mga machines, but most of the time, manual yung pagputol. Lagare, may kanya-kanya silang tools. Kasi yung basket o yung rata na yon, pagka ginawa mo na siya, meron pang mga rough part yan magagaspang. So para matanggal yon, sinusunog yun ng torch. So yun, nakikita ko yun na para maging smooth pa siya, may mga dinadaanan pa mga proseso. I mean, ganun yung contemporary business before. Labor intensive siya. Maraming tao. Manpower talaga ang kailangan para ma-produce mo yung product. But today, hindi na ganun. There are a lot of processes na hindi na workforce ang kailangan. Puro machineries na. Robots and and programs ang kailangan. So this is now the new trends in business, and it becomes contemporary now. And then, of course, advanced information technologies, like we have uh, seen in the slides kanina na share ko, the internet and the e-commerce. Meron ba sa inyo may credit card?
Wala po.
ATM?
Meron po.
Meron, yan, no? Oh my God. Tumatanda ako. Before, we don't have these ATMs. I mean, naabutan ko naman yan, but the first time I had my ATM, nung nagtrabaho na ako, I was really parang amazed on how these things happens dun sa maliit na card na yon. Na when you insert it in the machine, nalalaman niya agad yung amount ng nasa account na yon, something like that. You know, it may sounds parang tanga naman, pero I mean, bago kasi yun noon sa amin. Bagong-bago. Ang alam ko lang noon, kung magbabangko ka, passbook. Yan ang normal. But it came a time na pwede na yung card lang hawak mo, and then pwede ka nang mag-withdraw. So ngayon, I have a lot of credit cards. Nabubwisit na nga ako kung minsan. Padala ng mga credit cards.
Na all.
Even in the information, ang bilis na din ngayon ng processing of information. I had my OJT in Land Bank nung nag-aaral pa ako. Kasi nung college ako, ang OJT namin actually hindi one time, big time, yung bago ka mag-graduate. Every semester, we have to have OJT. We call it JEEP. Nakalimutan ko na ano nga yun. Job Enhancement. Nakalimutan ko pa isang program. Na every semester, we have to have OJT. So, ang suki ako ng Land Bank noon kasi first year pa lang may OJT na, second year, third year, ganyan. Nawalan na lang ako ng OJT ng fourth year kasi lumipat na ako ng university. So, first year to third year, nag-OJT ako sa Land Bank. And then, doon, na-assign ako one time sa isang yung terminal nila nagpo-produce ng reports. The whole day, print lang siya ng print ng report. And I was curious, ano ba itong mga piniprint na ito? Na mga data. So, I asked my supervisor, ano po ba ito? Ganyan. So, yun daw ay mga transaction na nanggagaling sa iba't ibang branch na kina-capture nung pinaka-system na yon and then piniprint. Maghapon lang yun. Babantayan ko lang siya kasi baka mag-fold yung paper. Automatic kasi siya na nahuhulog lang siya. Baka hindi tumama yung pagkakahulog, malulukot yung paper. So, ganun kabilis na yung transfer ng information. It's normal for you also to see cell phones. But for me, actually, inabutan ko na walang cellphone. Landline lang. Ang pinaka-amazing na sa amin noon, yung walkie-talkie, na walang cord, pero nagkakausap. Amazed na kami noon doon sa walkie-talkie. Kasi even yung laruan na telepono, you really have to put a line in between those two cans para marinig mo yung kausap mo. So noon nung na-introduce yung walkie-talkie, amazed na kami na paano to nangyayari na walang line pero nagkakarinigan kayo. And then ang unang-unang cellphone namin ay Motorola na siguro kasing haba ng kung ba siya i-compare na may intindihan niyo. Basta malaki siya eh. Tapos ang screen maliit. Ang makikita mo lang ay number. Wala siyang may capacity na text pero one line lang siya, one-liner lang siya. Hindi mo siya makikita ng two lines. So, yun ang unang-unang cellphone namin. Tapos, kailangan mong hugutin yung antena para makakuha ka ng signal. Hindi katulad ngayon. Ang bilis talaga ng changes sa technology. Ngayon, ang tawag dito, touch screen, touch screen. Ang bilis. Dati, walang ganito. Ngayon, ano bang cellphone nyo? You don't have to input yung code mo eh. Bubuksan mo lang yung mata mo, mag-o-open na yung cellphone mo. Diba? Ano bang phone nyo ngayon? May phone ba kayo?
Huawei,
Mobile,
sir.
sir.
Meron na ngayon yung face recognition.
Yes.
Ako pero hindi lang po namin ginagamit yung face recognition.
Fingerprint
Hindi ba
lang.
ginagamit?
Fingerprint lang.
Fingerprint lang, sir.
Yes. Before, yung una kong, bago kasi yung phone ko din ngayon, yung pinalitan nito, fingerprint din. Lahat ng bank account ko, hindi na code, fingerprint lang para ma-open. Ngayon, ganun din. Hindi na fingerprint, mukha ko lang para ma-open yung bank account. Without my face, hindi siya mag-o-open. Kaya, ganun nakabilis ngayon yung changes sa technology. I remember one time, si Ma'am Angel, kasi meron siyang kasama sa bahay before na they have the same phone. Ganun din, meron ding face recognition. Same phone. Ang nadampot niya yung phone nung kasama niya. Dilat daw siya ng dilat ng mata. Ayaw bumukas. Yung pala hindi sa kanya. So, ganun ka-protective na ngayon yung mga gadget natin, yung technology natin. So, and that is normal now sa mga businesses. And then, a greater focus on the customer. Before kasi, hindi customer ang focus. More on product ang focus ng businesses. Meaning, dahil noon hindi pa naman ganun karami yung product in the market, the focus is more on mass production. Ang thinking nila, when you create a product, dapat damihan mo kasi pag may bumili at naging okay, maraming sunod-sunod na siya. Ngayon, hindi na ganun. Nag-shift na ngayon ang focus ng business, and that is more on what does the customer needs and how are we going to satisfy them. Kasi even if you have the product and the customer will not like it, hindi rin niya yan bibilhin. Kaya more on how are we going to satisfy them or how are we going to meet their needs. Kasi kahit na nandyan yung product mo, hindi niya yan tatangkilikin if hindi niya yan kailangan. Hindi niya yan magagamit. Kaya more on focus sa customers' needs. And then, management now has changed also. Kasi gaya ng nasabi natin, no, yung environment mo nag-change na din eh. Meron ng online, and then globalized na, so you are dealing with other foreign employees, kaya even the way you manage your organization should change also. Pwede kang mag-centralize, decentralize, or if you like to set up other levels of management, pwede rin. Kasi it depends on your organization, how diverse is your organization. Katulad nito mga changes na to, changes in social, changes in political. Kasi ngayon, ang dinidiscuss yung tungkol sa social. Ngayon kasi, marami ng mga thoughts na na-introduce sa atin as norms. Normal lang. Like for example, third sex or before, tumatanda talaga ako. Dalawa lang ang kinikilala, male and female. Okay? Noon, talagang tagong-tago yung mga third sex. But now, we are now introduced to different genders, different sex orientation. Actually, madami yan, di ba? Hindi lang yan gay and bisexual, meron pang. Kaya ngayon, LGBTQ+, kasi marami ng gender. Okay. Now, so, if even yung thoughts na male and females are equal, they should be treated equally. Yun daw, kaya ng lalaki, kaya din ng babae, and so on and so on. Kaya meron tayong gender equality. So even in the organization, tinitingnan din yan. Sa BSU, meron tayong gender, God, gender, and I forgot, gender development, something like that. Tinitingnan yung ratio ng male and female within the organization. But before, walang ganito. We don't care about what is happening in the society. But now, if you set up a business, you should be sensitive to the society. Kasi your business will work on the society, of course. Kung wala sila, di wala rin yung business mo. So, you have to adapt. Even politics, naku, ito pa isa, na nakaka-apekto sa negosyo natin. For sure, you know what had happened to ABS-CBN. And of course, we cannot say na this is solely about political, pero we cannot deny also the fact that there is politics also doon sa nangyari. Hindi siya totally 100% walang politics, and we cannot also say na 100% it's about politics, but there is politics doon sa nangyari sa business nila. And what is ABS-CBN? More than 50 years of service, thousands of employees. Thousands nga ba? I don't know. But there are a lot of employees relying on ABS-CBN. I'm not saying na tama or mali yung nangyari sa kanila. We are just using it as an example na political and other factors are affecting our our business. Okay, cultural environment, yan din, no? It affects our business. And we have to adapt also. I have a research about environment, about trees. And I have found out that alam niyo ba yung history nyo, during Spanish era, di ba ang unang sumakop sa atin mga Spaniards? Alam niyo ba yung history nyo? Anong sumunod sa Spaniards?
Ronel, ano daw sumunod sa Spaniard?
Americans po, sir.
Very good. Okay. During the time of Spaniards, which is matagal na panahon, decades tayong hawak ng Spaniards. Our forest is about 90% of the entire Philippines is covered by forest. Ang daming puno. And then dumating ang Americans, sinakop tayo, pinalaya tayo sa mga Spaniards, okay? And then after ilang years nila sa Pilipinas, ang puno natin o ang forest natin drops from 90% of the total coverage of the Philippines. Nag-drop siya into 40%. So imaginein mo, saan dinala ng mga Amerikano ang mga puno natin? Bakit nawala ang mga puno? And how important are trees to our environment? Napaka-importante niyan. But anyway, so even like I just wanted to tell you na the environment affects our businesses. Kaya we should also adapt. Kaya nga 'di ba sa university natin, we are even having extension projects like tree planting, yan, clean up, mga ganyan. Kasi kung hindi naman tayo magko-contribute sa environment and we will destroy it, wala rin tayong lugar para magtayo ng negosyo natin. So, yung mga businesses ngayon, kino-consider na yan. That's why even in their products, nagre-reflect na din yan. Like some of the manufacturers of technology is considering the use of solar power instead of fuel. Yung pinoproduce nila, meron na rin mga solar-powered, even cars, meron mga solar-powered cars na. In China, for you to know if the taxi that you are hiring is using a solar-powered, yung plate niya is colored green. Kaya, it's good to travel in different places para meron ka rin matututunan. So, ganun. Sa China, kapag yung plate ng taxi is kulay green, alam mo na yun ay environment friendly. They are using solar power. Pagka kulay red, yun, hindi yun solar. Gumagamit sila ng diesel, ng gasoline. Okay, I think that's the half of the chapter 3. O, yan ang recap, ha? Kayang-kaya niyo yan. Okay ba kayo?
Sir, bakit magkukwis ba tayo agad?
Okay, walang quiz muna ngayon.
Ayan.
Makikinig.
Yan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hindi naman kayo pagka walang quiz masaya.
Siyempre.
Maraming salamat, sir.
Okay. Sige, let's go to this one, cost management. Okay, natutunan natin yung cost management is about providing advices to different departments by giving them financial and non-financial information so that they can make decisions for their departments. Now, yung cost management system is not actually isang upuan and then applied na okay na yon. Hindi siya overnight. I mean, sasabihin mo, o sige, ikaw, cost management department ka. Hindi siya ganun nag-evolve. Maraming dinaanan yung cost management system na ito before na-establish siya as such. Okay, so ito yung mga stages na dinadaanan niya. Kasi when you set up a business, hindi naman talaga cost management agad eh. More on accounting department lang muna. The primary purpose is to generate financial reports na compliant sa mga standards that can be submitted to mga agencies of the government for us to comply. So normally, sa umpisa pa lang ng negosyo, sa umpisa pa lang ng negosyo ay more on accounting system lang just to generate financial reports para makapag-comply. So, if that is the case, dyan sa stage 1 na nakikita ninyo sa slides, cost management system are basic transaction reporting system. We parang quote na this is already a cost management system na more on generating transactional reports only for us to comply sa mga government agencies. But as we operate dun sa business natin, nagde-develop siya. Kaya in stage 2, cost management system focus on external financial reporting. The objective is a reliable financial reports. Accordingly, the usefulness of cost management is limited. So, hindi pa masyadong binibigyan ng attention yung mga financial data na nandoon sa financial report natin. Medyo hindi pa nila yun. Ang intindi pa lang nila doon sa mga financial data na yun is just the result of the operation and for compliance purposes. Okay, say the government or the BIR is asking for how much is your net income and then you provide the figure, okay na yun sa kanila, sa businesses. Okay na yun, comply na tayo, nabigyan na natin yung net income, nagbayad na tayo ng tax, okay na yun. So doon lang muna, more on accuracy, more on consistency of applications of accounting standards, more on compliance only. And then in the long run, sasabihin ng habang tumatakbo yung negosyo mo, habang lumalaki siya, mag-iisip yung manager or yung mga owners, yung net income natin is our measure of the growth of the company. Ibig sabihin, habang lumalaki yung net income natin, yun pala ang magdidictate na lumalaki na rin tayo. Kasi lumalago yung net income natin. So, sa stage 3, cost management system track key operating data and develop more accurate and relevant cost information for decision making. Cost management information is developed. So kung sa isip ng management o ng owner na yung net income ang kanyang pinaka-gauge, na lumalaki na siya, we can now use this income or yung figure na yon to generate other information for us to determine whether it will increase or it will be affected by other factors. For example, paano ba nako-compute ang net income? Hindi ba sales minus expenses, cost and expense, equals yung net income? So if we wanted to increase income, we will simply increase our sales. And how are we going to do that? More on sales. We need to deliver more Paano ba yung sales? Sales kasi is recognized when goods are delivered. So we need to deliver more. Paano tayo mag-deliver? We need to have more orders. Paano tayo magkakaroon ng maraming order? We need to sell quality goods with more functionalities and so on and so on. Marami ka ng may isip na paraan para lumaki ng lumaki yung sales mo para in effect will increase your net income also. Another way to increase your net income is to decrease your cost and expense. So ano ba yung mga cost and expenses mo? So isa-isahin mo na yon. Say you found out that majority of your expenses is more on, say, rent. So how are we going to decrease this one? Or more on maintenance? How are we going to decrease this one? So mag-iisip ka na rin ng mga strategy mo, ng mga factors that may contribute to the increase of sales, increase of expense, and then you have to control that para mag-decrease yung cost and expenses mo. So, ganyan nag-develop ang cost management information system. From merely for reporting purposes only hanggang sa nag-e-evolve siya into more comprehensive analysis of how are we going to use this information to either make our business grow. So stage 4, dahil naiintindihan mo na meron palang mga effect, yung mga factors na yon sa net income natin, like quality, like timely delivery, may effect pala yan sa net income natin. Sa stage 4, strategically relevant management information becomes an integral part of the system. Nagsasabi ka na dyan sa mga department mo na, nakaka-contribute pala ito sa net income natin. So we have to use this cost management information and implement this one para ma-reach natin yung target natin. Okay? So even sa HR, darating ka din sa punto na even your employees can be measured as one of the factors that may increase your net income. Paano yun? Para mag-increase ang net income natin, mag-increase ang sales, dapat yung mga customer natin, mga clients natin, happy sila, satisfied sila whenever they go to our store or sa business natin. Paano kung yung mga employees mo ay masusungit or hindi nag-smile? So, even the employees kasama yan sa, kaya nagiging integrated, integral part of the system. Even the employees, you have to train them, you have to give them instructions on how to deal with customers. Maski yung pagsagot sa customer, kasama yan sa cost management information system natin. Kasi pagka hindi ka marunong makipag-usap, mawawalan ka ng customer. So pati yun, tinitrain yun sa mga employees natin. Okay. Next is, let us distinguish what is cost management and accounting system. Ako, alam niyo na to. So accounting system is more on a set of manual and methods of procedures and controls to establish or gather records, classify, analyze for financial purposes lang ito. Okay. Wala siyang non-financial information para matapos niya yung kanyang financial report. Although, meron tayong tinatawag na qualitative characteristics, and that is, I think, embedded na dun sa mga financial na yon. Ah, of course, kung hindi accurate yung input ng data mo, ang output doon hindi na rin accurate. Kaya naka-embedded doon sa data, sa information mo, yung qualitative characteristics. But comparing it to cost management, this is broader in scope. These are activities of management, of managers in short run and long run planning and control decisions that increase value for customer. I think na paulit-ulit naman tayo na nag-explain na the primary focus is to increase the value ng when you apply cost management information system. Yun na nga, to satisfy or to meet the needs of the customer. So mas malawak siya. Hindi lang basta makapag-generate ng financial report and then tapos na. We need to understand how are we going to satisfy them para continuously they will support, they will buy our product, and then they will patronize our product para mag-generate ng continuous sales and income sa atin. Okay, ito yung integrative framework. This only explains changes in cost management system. As we have learned, yung cost management system undergoes development from accounting system, merely creating reports, to making it more focused on customers' value, that is cost management information system. Bakit daw nagkakaroon ng changes na ganyan, o yung development na ganyan, is because of this integrative framework. Meaning, yung strategy ng business, meron naman tayong discussion ng what is a strategy, ano? That is how are we going to meet our mission and objectives. Will change if there are changes in market condition, if there are changes in technology in the market. Okay, if there are innovations in technology. Pagka may changes dyan, your strategy will change also. Your business strategy will change also. Yung structure ng asset mo, you're shifting from investing in current asset, you will change to investing to non-current, investing more on machineries, on technology, on robotics, or maybe in programs and systems. So magkakaroon ng changes sa asset structure mo. There are also changes in your customers base. Kasi yung kinikater mong mga customer, na-identify mo na whether they want low cost or more on branding, more on functionalities. So, yung way mo ng magpag-produce mo ng product is based on what the customers needs. So, may changes doon sa strategy mo because there are changes in market and technology. If that will happen, magkakaroon ng change sa accounting system mo, sa decision right partitioning, even sa performance reward and punishment system mo. Magkakaroon niya ng change. Kasi if there are changes, say, in the production, nagkaroon ng mas maraming machineries or robotics. So, yung pag-gather mo ng account ng cost, magbabago din. Kasi meron ng mga systems, meron ng mga machineries. So, how are you going to change the product cost? Diba natandaan nyo sa accounting cost accounting subject natin. The composition of product cost is labor, overhead, and materials. So kung nag-shift from labor intensive to more on machineries, hindi na nagiging relevant yung overhead based on labor. It's more on based on machine use or outputs or other measurement of overhead. Kasi konti na lang naman yung inputs ng labor. More on machineries na lang. So maybe we should change the way we compute for the predetermined overhead rate. Instead of basing it to the labor, maybe we should base it on machine hours, machine outputs, machine usage, mga ganon. So, nagkakaroon na ng changes on how you treat accounting information, accounting data. So, magkakaroon din ng changes sa system mo sa accounting. So, in effect, there will be changes in your incentive and action, and of course, the firm's value, magbabago na rin yan. So, itong integrative framework make us realize that there will only be changes in our accounting system if there are changes in market condition and technology innovation. In short, there are drivers of changes sa accounting system. Hindi ito bigla lang nag-change yung accounting system. Hindi. Merong nagda-drive o merong dahilan or reason why do we have to change our accounting system. And another thing that we have to realize also that whenever we change our accounting system, we have to change also concurrently our decision rights partitioning and the performance reward. Hindi pwede na yung accounting system lang yung nag-change and then the rest hindi nag-change. It will create chaos dun sa organization natin. Kasi pag hindi mo yun lahat na bago yung nasa organizational structure natin, it will create conflict of interest. For example, itong compensation policy, yung performance rewards. If you will not change this one, say for example, labor-intensive tayo before, maraming laborers. And therefore, yung benefit na binibigay mo, nakadepende dun sa number of laborers mo. So, siyempre, kung ang denominator mo ay 100, I mean, ang divider mo ay 100, say 1,000 divided by 100 employees, then meron ka lang magkano yan? 10 piso. Diba? 10 piso incentive. Kumonti yung laborer mo, naging 50 na lang because there are additional machineries that can work on their task. Kaya 50 na lang yung laborers mo. But you did not change the reward system or the compensation policy or the benefits that can be received. Ang ginagamit mo pa ring denominator is still 100 instead of 50. Hindi tumaas yung reward na nabibigay mo dun sa mga employees mo. 1,000 over 100 ka pa rin even though 50 na lang yung laborers mo. So, this is just a simple example of how important to change also yung compensation policy. Okay, so you have to realize na whenever we change something dun sa organizational structure, lahat yon dapat magkaroon din ng changes. And again, there will only be changes if there are changes in technology o yung mga drivers ng changes natin. Okay, I think we have finished chapter 3. unless you have questions or if you have if you have something to clarify. May tanong ba kayo?
Sir, ako wala po akong tanong.
Wala po, sir.
Okay, very good. So, I'll end the recording and then let's have a break and then chapter 4 tayo. Okay lang ba sa inyo? 10:40 na pala.
Yes, sir.
Sir, balik quiz natin next week.